the 1998 Football State Championship team. The 1998 Heritage Hall football team made history by securing the school's first ever football state championship, setting a new standard of excellence that still defines our athletic tradition today.
98 team, what a memory. It's a group of guys, 32 strong, that came together each week. I think one of the defining moments of the season was early on when we beat Millwood. Millwood was such a power, and we beat Millwood 21-20, and I think that turned the corner for us. It was a special win. I mean, the Woods brothers were playing there, and Wes, and I just remember the last play. They were down on the goal line, and I told Paul Long, I said, "You stay in the back of the end zone no matter what. They're going to throw a fade." And they threw a fade, and they threw it right to Paul, and that was a big win for us. I think you talk about teams. I mean, you talk about hump games. That was a hump game for us. And then for the rest of the season, I mean, we just started rolling. We rolled over people. Then we got to game 10, and Wes was kind of banged up, and we played him sparingly. I think we played him about 7 or 8 plays, and he scored like 3 or 4 times in that amount of time, and we ended up winning that game. It was tight, 56-48 in Perkins. Playoffs were unbelievable. It was like a destined team. The Davis game, it was amazing. Scored 10 points in the last, 30, 40 seconds, win the game. Go down to Plainview, score in the last minute, win 10-6. You get to the state game, and that was another wild one. Those are the 2 games I'll always remember, is Davis and Tishomingo, that state game. It's back and forth. We play well. I mean, we've got Wes playing well. JT makes a one-handed catch for a 2-point conversion. Nick blocks a punt. We did pretty much everything right in that game. We had to do everything right in that game to win that game, and we did everything right. One of the moments I'll never forget was we're on our last drive. I will say they scored with a minute and something left to go ahead, 34-28. And our guys, every one of them said, "We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game." It was the coolest feeling, because we all thought we were going to win this game. So we're driving down the field, and we're on about the 50, and I look over, and number 63 is covering Wes. And I was just going nuts. I was just yelling, "Graham, Graham, Graham," hoping he could hear me to get it to Wes. I mean, I just couldn't believe a guy like that would be trying to cover Wes. And we get Wes, and we get him down by the goal line. And then we score, kick the extra point, maybe 30 seconds left. And, we're pretty wary of their speed, but Harper Ward makes a sack, and that pretty much clinched it. And then it was mayhem after that. That was probably one of the most unbelievable games I've ever been involved with. It was just a special, special feeling for me, and special for the team, and I just felt like that was the start of the Heritage Hall standard, and that's what it's been. And they were the start, and I just want to congratulate those guys. What a year!
At the 1998 state championship game against Tishomingo, the game was tied at 28 when Tish began a late 4th quarter drive. I was on my way from the stands to the field to prepare for the post-game presentations when the Indians punched in the go-ahead touchdown. They muffed the PAT attempt, however, and had to settle for a 34-28 lead with 2 minutes left in the game. As I approached the OSSAA official in charge of presenting the gold and silver balls, he extended his hand and offered a consoling thought. "Your boys put up a good fight today," he said. "They gave it all they had." With the missed extra point fresh in my mind, however, I replied with the confidence of a true believer, "No, you don't understand. I think we've got them where we want them." I suppose the official must have dismissed my comment as unwarranted bravado, but he hadn't seen the miracle finishes against Millwood, Perkins Tryon, Davis, and Plainview. I really was a true believer, and so I wasn't at all surprised when it happened once again. In the final minutes of their final game, the 1998 Chargers engineered an 80-yard drive that included 2 fourth-down conversions and culminated in a Colton to Welker touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone. I turned and flashed an "I told you so" smile at the speechless OSSAA official as we proceeded to the center of the field to distribute medals and trophies, while pixie dust continued to fall on the Charger faithful. It truly was a season for the ages.
The 1998 team's impact went far beyond the scoreboard. The team embodied the true spirit of success, showing up with dedication, facing every challenge with resilience, and playing selflessly for one another.
To the 98 team, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for inspiring generations of Heritage Hall football players to come after you, including myself. I was just a young 6th grader watching that magical run. I mean, what a time to be alive. Some of the most fun memories of my entire life, entire sports career, were watching you guys compete and represent the name of Heritage Hall with pride. And that's what we try to do, carry on that tradition. You know, you got to believe. That was one thing you guys believed every single game that you were going to win. Even when you came up against teams that might have seemed insurmountable, your belief was unrelenting, and you guys got the job done, and it made us so proud. And I was a proud 12-year-old, and it has really inspired me. Not only in my playing career here, unfortunately didn't get to live up to your standards of bringing home a gold ball as a player, but that only influenced me more as a coach. And I try to bring that spirit of the 98 football team on the sidelines. I'm sure you've seen me coach, and I like to bring that fire and energy and hopefully make you guys proud, and our athletes do the same. I know you influenced, obviously, the 2008 team. The whole theme that year was Take State Like 98, and it turns out the 8s have been good to us. 98, 2008, 2018. Hopefully we can get one done before 2028, but 2028 should be a good year as well. Like I said, I just want to say thank you to that whole group. I know it was only 32 strong, a great coaching staff, but it was truly inspiring as a young 6th grader here at Heritage Hall, and it still inspires me to this day. You guys are very deserving of this, and you led the way, and you set the path for all of us to come after you. Thank you so much for everything you did. We're all so proud of you.
That season of 1998, what a special one that was. As each game was played, you guys found a way to win. Sometimes they were easy wins, sometimes they were difficult wins, but you always found a way to win. Whether it was Davis at home, where it appears we had no chance, you found a way to win. And then the biggest game of the year in Stillwater, that sunny afternoon, you found a way to win. Because of that, you guys set the bar so high that everyone that has come since you, they're all measured by that team of 98. So, congratulations, welcome to the Hall of Fame. It was a great ride.
They reminded us all of what really matters, that it's never about individual glory, but always about the team. The 1998 championship team's victory was not just a championship. It was a lasting lesson in unity, grit, and the power of collective heart.
Our 1998 state championship football team consisted of 6 seniors, 8 juniors, 8 sophomores, and 12 freshmen. We had 34 kids on the team. And so we had 22 kids, so sophomores, juniors, seniors, carrying the load for us most of that year. And our 6 seniors provided the leadership to take us to a state championship. But as we began the season, I don't think anybody really suspected that we would win a state championship. In those 15 victories that we had, wound up 15-0. 7 of those games wound up with a victory margin of a touchdown or less. So we had a lot of close games, and some of those games we were probably not the best team on the field, but the heart of our kids and the determination of our kids and the belief in each other was just tremendous. I've always said that there's teams that win championships and have great seasons there seems to be an invisible mist that falls upon them at some point in time. This team, I think it happened when late in the season, I think it was the Davis game. I think that we thought we were pretty good, we were playing well, but when we came back and won that game, our kids just knew. They knew that mist fell upon us, and you would not take anything away from them from that point on. I was proud of these kids. We had a great time. They loved each other. And one thing I always told them, that once you're a state champion, you're always a state champion. And you can show that ring off all the time. I'm really proud of our championship team.
The 1998 Football State Championship team.
And we return up here. Good evening. I know it's been a long night. I know it has. We've got one more to do, and we're going to do them justice. We're going to celebrate their championship. And this has been so fun, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed most of it. We'll be looking for your feedback. But let's get to these guys. The videos have been just amazing. What a nice touch. We saved our final induction for the football team. This team set the standard that every Charger team has looked up to since this fantastic accomplishment on December the 12th, 1998. First of what is currently 8 state championships in football. We are not the only undefeated state champion in football at this school, but we were the first. This team showed the state of Oklahoma what Heritage Hall football could be all about. And quite honestly, things have never been the same. It changed our world up here, you guys. People don't like us anymore. This is where small town dreams come to get crushed, right back here. You started that. Foundation for this team had to start, Wes says freshman year. I'm going to go back to 97 when Rod Warner he was the athletic director and the head football coach. And he made some monumental football hires. First of all, and Wes mentioned him, E.K. Franks was hired as the first strength and conditioning coach at Heritage Hall. Expect the unexpected, he used to say to us over and over. E.K. was the right guy at the right time. It is impossible to overstate the impact that E.K. Franks had on not only this football team, but this entire athletic department. It was different, but it was needed. And we bought into it. And we drank the juice. And we tip our hat. E.K. The next strength coach at Heritage Hall was Chris Gefeller. Okay? I'd say you nailed those 2 hires pretty well. That weight room is important. It is important to our success as athletic teams at this school. And it started with E.K. In addition to hiring E.K., Rod hired a guy named Andy Bogert off the John Marshall staff. But that also meant we got Mark Adams, okay? That's a 2-for-1 deal right there. I don't need to stand up here and tell you what a difference Mark and Andy have made to this football team and this program. I want to point out, though, that something that is not mentioned much, not appreciated enough, and I want to make sure you hear it from my mouth tonight. Rod had done all the coaching up until then. The fact that you could give it up. You could give it up to E.K., and you could give it up to Andy. Couldn't have been easy, but it was part of what we needed, and you saw that. And you turned the offense over to Andy. It's underestimated what you gave up to get what we got, because you saw what we would do. Sometimes the hardest thing for a head coach to do is to let somebody else do it. That was big. the ripple effect of those hires still affects this athletic department today. Mark and Andy are still here. Andy's calling plays. Mark's on the sideline. He's retired, but if you need him, he's on the sidelines. And all those guys respect those guys so much. It still affects us, and the weight room is a part of our life around here. Every athlete we have knows that that's where it happens. A lot of words can describe our season from 1998. I'm going to start with one. Long. 15 weeks. That's 1.5 seasons. Sure made the first semester go by fast, I will say that. The teams now, they kind of expect to play 14 or 15 weeks. It's the norm. Think about that 15 weeks real quick. In Oklahoma, when you don't have any more games scheduled, your season's over. So if you don't make the playoffs, you play 10 weeks. You cannot practice any more football until the next season. We practiced 5 more weeks than them. We got a lot better. The gap grew. And after you got beat after the first week, you stopped after 11. We got another month of football than you guys. It made amazing. We never had done it before. It was long. It was difficult. It was demanding. It was challenging. It was mentioned. It was fun. And it was satisfying. And isn't it easy to sit here tonight and look back? Because we know how it ended. We know how 98 ended. So it's easy to look back and say, oh, it was fun. It was satisfying. In the here and now of 98, we didn't know the ending. It was unknown. It kind of added to the intrigue. We just kept getting ready for the next week. It's hard to be the champion. A true statement for sure. You guys experienced what it felt like to be the champion. Why this team? Why did 98 all of a sudden get to be that team? Had to be lots of factors, but I'm going to point out to one. The special group of high-quality people that made up our team. I'm not on social media. That will shock some of you. So I don't know what everybody's done since they've left Heritage Hall. But I know what some of you have done since you've gone out in the world. We have decorated military veterans on this team in 1998. We've got a Purple Heart recipient. He got shot at and hit by the enemy. We got a special ops medic on this team. He'd tell you what he did, but he'd have to kill you. It's secret. It's not for everybody to know. We've got a guy over there on our team trying to get us to Mars for a while, but he got off that gig. You know what Danny Craig's doing now? He's developing medicine in space. We're developing medicine in outer space, and Danny Craig is on the cutting edge of that. That's the kind of individual that made up this team. We've got entrepreneurs over there. I don't want to work for somebody. I'm going to figure out an idea and I'm going to make it work. And they have. And they're successful. I briefly looked at the roster a minute ago. I can count 6 doctors out of 32 players. That's woo. If you need something, you can probably call one of them. Harper can put you to sleep. JT can fix your leg. Derek can clean your teeth. Paul will work on your veins for you. I'm leaving a few out, but okay. What a talented group. Got husbands over there. We got dads over there. It's an impressive assortment of human beings. They came together at the right time, at the right place. and accomplished something truly amazing. We still talk about it today. I want to take a few minutes and throw out some words that you probably remember. Kurt Foster. Kurt Foster was our video guy. Yeah. We had hopes of him coming tonight. I didn't see Kurt, but if you're here, there he is! Good golly! You were years ahead of everybody else in the video world. This is not a small thing. This was a big thing. It had batteries. I had to keep them recharged in a backpack. Kurt filmed our games. Kurt was in the locker room at OSU when we walked in for our first practice. He's already in the locker room filming every kid as they walked in that OSU locker room that day. He was on the field with us at OU when we were practicing on the turf, filming it, documenting it. We didn't know it was going to be a fairy tale, but you sure treated it like one, Kurt. Thank you for all your work, and I hope we can get some of that stuff on the Hall of Fame board over there. You were outstanding for us. Back in those days, they didn't have, your game wasn't available as soon as it was over. Foster made copies for the parents. It cost you, but he'd make copies of the game so you could get a copy of the game. Should have charged more. Curtis McAuliffe. Curtis was our athletic trainer at the time. He was our third athletic trainer. Tim Kratzke, Wade Sunby, and then Curtis McAuliffe. He was outstanding. You don't play 15 weeks and win the state championship unless you're reasonably healthy. And you're not healthy if you play 15 weeks. It's impossible. It's a brutal game. Curtis did an awesome job getting us on the field, keeping us on the field, and taking care of us. He left here probably about 2000, and he became the head trainer at Oklahoma Christian University up on Memorial. He's still the head trainer there today. Curtis is a really impressive guy. I got to back up real quick. Kurt, sorry, you thought you were through getting talked about. One of the greatest things you did is you did a one-on-one with Danny Craig on top of the press box right out there. It ran on a loop on cable TV educational channel for weeks. It's one of the coolest things you'll ever see about Heritage Hall. And it's really just about Danny Craig talking about the season and the games. And Kurt's filming, and he might prompt him with a couple of questions. But I wrote that down late. That's one of the neatest things you ever did on video for us. Stan Schoen, Coach Turf. Do you remember Stan Schoen? He did our fields. He did our fields in the summer, so he kind of got connected with some of the coaches, and so then he kind of thought he would be coaching. But he would come to the games and he would dress like a coach. Okay? Oh, wait a minute. I just remember. Wes and Kyle Burris worked for Stan one summer. You didn't work for him. You terrorized him. You terrorized that man. But he got a state championship ring because he did our fields. Coach Turf, Stan Schoen. How about Ben Roots, quarterback coach? He works exclusively with Graham, really. Smartest coach to ever coach at Heritage Hall. Went 15-0 and retired. We were hoping Ben would be here tonight, but his impact was important to us. How about Thanksgiving weekend at Plainview? We had never played Thanksgiving weekend ever. That was a goal we all had. I want to practice over Thanksgiving. I want to practice on that Thursday. Got bad news, fellas. It's a tradition now. They practice on Thanksgiving Day every year around here now. We were the first ones. It's a 9 o'clock traditional practice. The Booster Club sets up hot chocolate coffee and donuts. Come and watch. 9 o'clock Thursday morning right out there. If it's a Saturday game, it's a full-go practice. If it's a Friday game, it's a walkthrough. We experienced that for the first time, and then went to Plainview down by Ardmore. Was anybody even going to come? It's a long weekend. Did they come? We had a crowd down there, and it was an awesome game. It's funny how you can watch the same game and have a different memory. I remember Wes picking it off in the end zone late to secure a 10-6 victory. Big-time players make big-time plays. That was a big-time play. What the heck was wrong with our offense that night? Oh, I'm just kidding, Andy. They had like a 90-yard run on us. We stuffed them all night long, and they busted a run on us, and that's how they got their 6. Oh, sorry, dogs. We went to OU and practiced on the turf. That was the goal in 1998 of every high school team. Let's get to play on the turf. Lewis Field had artificial turf, nowhere else. I watched a video of JT's 9-year-old kid. They play on artificial turf in 9-year-old baseball now. We never got to, and we had to know. Do we wear our cleats? Do we wear tennis shoes? We didn't know. So we go to OU. It's not the indoor they have now. It's an indoor that had kind of track around it. There were some batting cages in there. It was a busy place. Man, we get to go in there and practice. Kurt's got the video camera. He's filming everything. We went at a regular practice time one time. Well, we didn't get enough work in, so guess what? We got out of school. And we got to go down to OU and practice on the indoor turf and figure out what shoes we were going to wear at Lewis Field. The school support was phenomenal. Everybody was on our side. Everybody loved us around here. The lower school loved us. Their kids had pictures of you guys in their rooms at home. We had a great assembly next door in the Mathis gym on the Friday before the game. The guy gave a great speech that day. It was an epic speech. You kind of wondered when he started. It was like, oh my God, what's he doing? This is pep rally. Ooh, well, he'll get it. Ooh, it's coming together. Ooh, bam. It was awesome. One of the greatest speeches you ever gave in front of the student body that I remember. The publicity that we got from the Daily Oklahoman, there's no way we could have afforded it. It was phenomenal. When you got your Daily Oklahoman, you would open it and you would look for the article about Heritage Hall. And if it wasn't in there, you wouldn't know, where's the article today? There's one here on campus somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where, but Daily Oklahoman, front page of the sports page, color picture. I say it goes below the fold. Dr. John Powell and our quarterback, Graham Colton. And the headline said, all hail the Hall. That was the headlines to the sports page of the Daily Oklahoman. We couldn't have afforded that. You are correct. We go to Stillwater the day before, we're going to spend the night. We go to Eskimo Joe's and have lunch as a team. Donors all paid for this. We get to go next door and get a clothing item, a sweat top, or a t-shirt from Eskimo Joe's. We go down to the stadium and we have our first walkthrough. And we were so excited to get out on that turf and see what it was like. We were like a bunch of young cattle or calves or something. We were jumping around and stopping and starting and seeing what was going to work. Yeah. Then we realized it is absolutely the worst surface we've ever been on. It was god-awful. It was deadly. J.T. Glumset played baseball for me in the spring of '99, which is the spring right after the football game in '98. He still had open wounds from the turf burn of Lewis Field. That's a true story. We loved the overnight. I don't remember much about it. We all behaved pretty well. And then we had beautiful weather on December the 12th, 1998. We had an absolutely glorious day to play football. The crowd was somewhere between 14 and 18,000. Yeah, we had great players. I'm going to say that. And I'm even going to say we had great coaches. And then I'm going to say we had just the right amount of great luck. But the magic of this team was not in the luck. It was in the unity. It was in the brotherhood, if you will. We spent 6 days a week together, from August to December. 17 weeks if you count the 2 scrimmages. 6 days a week for 17 weeks. There are husbands and wives that don't spend that much time together. We cared about each other. We rooted for each other. We cheered for each other. We helped each other. And most importantly, we played for each other. Guys, and that's part of your legacy to Heritage Hall football. And that is to accomplish the extremely difficult. You must be together. You must love your team more than you love yourself. And this team modeled that. Not all teams believe that. Well, they're not state champions. You have to be together when you're doing something so hard. You guys also contributed the following. Not just to the football team, but to all sports here. One, everybody's welcome to play. Everybody can come out. Everybody has a role. It is not the same. Not everybody can be the quarterback or the left guard. Everybody has a role. My relationship with a lot of the guys on the 98 team was from the scout team. That was our role. We knew every Tuesday and Wednesday, the offense, the prolific offense, the Graham Colton-led offense, they're going to have the best players. They're going to have like 15 of the best players on the team are on offense. The rest of us are going to go play defense. We're going to line up like our opponent's going to line up, and we're going to simulate them. It's our job to make them better. We weren't supposed to tackle them. Made them feel better if we'd ever tackled them. But we learned to, and as part of this was EK. Physically, we were overmatched in practice, scout team. But our role was to get the offense better. We started using our mouths, started talking some smack. They couldn't talk back. We could say some stuff. We could repeat most of it in here tonight. I'm not going to. But the purpose of that was to get back to what Rod said. You got to focus. You cannot recreate a game at practice. You can talk about it. You can try. You can't do it. So we found other ways to get into our guys' heads so that when the times were tough, when they were distracted, they would focus and we would execute. That was our role. We also knew that on Friday night that if it was a competitive game, the scout team was not going to step foot on that field. That wasn't our gig in competitive games. Now, if we got way ahead, we got to go play. You guys remember Anthony Brewer getting a sack, and he was on Channel 9 Sports every day for the rest of the year. I'll never forget that. But it was, everybody has a role. Best players play. Who are the best players? That's for the coaches to decide. That's what we pay them for. Figure it out. And it's not always the best athletes, it's the best players that give this team the best chance. You must contribute to the team. You can't be selfish. If you're all about yourself, go away. Can't help us. You'll kill us. You will absolutely kill us at a crisis time if you're all about yourself. You've got to be about the team. And the last thing you guys have given us, showed us, is you got to be willing to prepare. It's on every scouting report. It's in the film room wall and it's stencil. And it says, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And that's true for everything you do. I keep looking over here because I think you guys are sitting over here. I want to say to this team, thanks for being a bunch of cool guys. Thanks for doing what you did, and thanks for the way you did it. You were fun to watch. You were exciting to watch. And you were classy to watch. We really value the time we had with you in 1998. We accomplished some great things. But we cherish the time that we have with you tonight so that we can tell you and show you what an impact you've had on your old high school. Some of these guys went to tremendous effort to be here tonight, you all. Some come from Bend, Oregon, Washington, D.C., Iowa. I don't know where everybody lives, but dang, they don't live in Nichols Hills anymore. You guys took some time, effort, made changes to your life and your plans to share with us tonight. And we're so glad you did. so that we can tell you how awesome you were and how awesome you have been. You guys, I'm about to wrap this up. You guys did not just win a championship trophy. You guys modeled a belief that we could do more, that we were not limited, that our success had no ceiling. That's what you modeled. And you need to know, today at Heritage Hall, every single team that we field believes they can do more. They don't feel limited, and they don't feel like they are a ceiling on their success. And you guys are the first that modeled that, and we've showed that to every group that comes after you. I honestly could talk for days. I could talk a lot longer. But I do think that that's one of the coolest things you did, is you accomplished that, and you didn't think it was that big a deal. You guys, with Charger pride that's oozing out of my body right now, I want to announce the induction of the 1998 Heritage Hall State Championship football team into the Charger Athletics Hall of Fame. Right here, all you players.
The award for the 1998 state championship football team will be presented by Guy Bramble.
You got it right there. You got it. I got it right here. Here. Huh?
Please welcome to the stage the 1998 state championship football team, along with Coach Rod Warner.
Coach Rod Warner just leaned over in my ear and said, "There's nothing else to say." Kelly Allen got it all. Congratulations, class of '98 football team, state champions. I'm here to close the evening. It's really nice of Jenny and Heather and Brian to put me on the program, but I have nothing to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Chris Gefeller.
I promise this will be quick. So first off, several weeks back when we first discussed how this banquet would proceed, there was one thing we all agreed upon, and that was we had to have Coach Allen involved. So Kelly, wherever you're at, appreciate the heartfelt thank you. As we conclude this special evening, I want to give another shout out to our incredible event chairs. Heather, Jenny, Brian, you guys did an amazing job. Along with Megan, Brooke, Daniel, and the rest of the committee members for their hard work, dedication, and countless hours spent making tonight possible. I would also like to thank our inductees, their families, alumni, coaches, sponsors, everyone who helped make this night special. Tonight, we celebrated more than accomplishments. We celebrated people, relationships, and values that make Heritage Hall and Charger athletics special. The individuals honored this evening remind us what it means to be a Charger, with excellence, character, commitment, and perseverance. At Heritage Hall, we believe no goal is out of reach, no dream is too big, and no standard is too high. Those words describe the legacy of our inductees we honored tonight and the future we hope to inspire in every Charger moving forward. That future is why we're excited to officially announce the H Club this evening. The H Club will bring our community together to celebrate and elevate Charger pride in every sport, every season, at every level, defining the Charger experience. It hopes to connect generations of Chargers and create opportunities for alumni, families, and supporters to stay engaged with Heritage Hall athletics. It's only fitting that we begin here tonight with the Hall of Fame banquet being the first official initiative of the H Club. As we roll out additional events and opportunities in the future, tonight serves as the foundation for what we hope will become a lasting tradition. The Hall of Fame celebrates where we've been. The H Club helps build where we're going. To our inductees, thank you for setting the standard. To everyone in this room, thank you for helping continue the proud tradition of Heritage Hall athletics. We look forward to seeing you at future athletic and H Club events and continuing to build an even stronger Charger community together. Thank you and congratulations again to our inaugural Charger Athletics Hall of Fame class, and don't forget to grab your free custard on the way out. As always, onward Chargers. Test, 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 test. Check. On your way out, please feel free to grab a flower arrangement off the table.